Okay. Some interesting things we can do. And actually, I never did this with arrays, but you can do it. This is kind of cool. It seems to come up more with matrices and arrays, but I don't know why. Let's go back to one of my arrays on top here. Array 2 here has 4, 3, 2, and 1. If I wanted to increase the value in position 0, by 1, and I bet most of you do something like this probably. You'd say AR2 of 0 equals AR2 of 0 plus 1. No problem. And we'll see that this guy here turned from a 4 into a 5 when I display it. What did I forget down here? Oh, this has to be mat 3. Okay. So this compiles fine, and when I run it, I'll see that 4 is now a 5. But a really interesting and cool way to do it is this. AR2 of 0 plus plus. Have we ever put increment or decrement operators next to square brackets? I don't think I have with you this year, but you can do it. And now we display it, and the 4, which became a 5, has now become a 6. And that same thing works with matrices. So I can do, if I want to change the top left corner to where it's increased by 1, I can say mat3 of 0, 0 plus plus, and now it's a 2. There's the 2. Okay, almost done. One last little thing for today. I bet this is my longest video of the year. I'm going to have to chop it in half if I can. Try and figure that out. Okay. Okay. Remember with arrays, it's so important to know how long it is, especially if it's a method you're writing that does something with an array. Like, let's say you have this method, public static int, let's just sum it, okay? Sum, and it gets an int array. So you want to make a sum variable. This is all old hat for you. Make a sum variable. And then how do we loop through, of course? AR.length. Okay, so that's how you do it. If it were a print method, let's call it print. Be a little shorter, wouldn't it? Wouldn't need that. It'd be a void, right? Public static void print. Okay. But my point is, we have to find the length of the array for all kinds of loops through arrays. The same thing is true for matrices. if I have public static void print a pair of square brackets through my mat matrix, then I have to know how many rows and columns are in mat. Do you see it? I have to find out how many rows there are. Well, the rows is equal to simply mat.length. And the columns is equal to mat of any row, like 0, dot length. This is not tonight's homework, but just a preview of tomorrow night's homework. Okay? And you would do it like this. This is the last thing, I promise. And then let's put a blank line between the rows. Or actually, it's not a blank line. It's a return after each row. This is not tonight's homework. This is tomorrow night. Okay, this last little part here. So we can test that by calling print and giving it mat3. And there's mat3 right there. Okay. Now, all of our matrices, we've only had one, have been rectangular. What does that mean? They've been rectangular in their shape. Okay? They've been rectangular. Okay? Like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4. But it is possible to have what's called jagged matrices. Look at it now. Row 0 has 4 columns, row 1 has 2 columns, and row 2 also has 4 columns. That's called a jagged matrix. These are not on the AP exam. Ours will always be rectangular on the AP exam. Okay? It works the same way, but they'll be rectangular on the AP exam. Okay? And all this is in a textbook in lesson 34. Here's page 1, in which we made a matrix 3 ways, just like they do. We saw how to find number of rows and columns. And we talked for a minute about ragged arrays. Okay? So it is in the book, lesson 34. Now this is a newer topic on the AP exam. I think it's new for the last 4 or 5 years, something like that, about 4 years. When the College Board decides to put a new topic on the AP exam, we know it's because they want to test us on it. So this is a very important topic. In fact, if you have an older Barron's Guide, I know I gave you one, but if you had an older one, it would say this is not on the AP exam perhaps, but nowadays it is.